I'm sort of the MC, and I know that a lot of you will have a special story to share about your experiences with Linda, so now's going to be the time. And I'm going to start, even though half of you don't really care I'm up here.
We're listening.
So I first met Linda when I joined a critique group that she was in, and I was new to the critique group, and I didn't know anybody in it, and I showed up at her doorstep, and I had just written an op-ed piece that was in the Press Democrat.
You want us to pay attention?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. Do I have to talk louder?
No, you're good.
All right. So, I assume you will all have a story you'll want to share. I'm going to start with mine. I joined a critique group. Linda was in it. I didn't know who she was. I just written an op-ed piece. It was in the Press Democrat. And when I came to her home, she was so welcoming and so generous and made me feel so at home and welcomed. And that is what Linda is. She makes everybody feel welcome.
All right. I just wanted to say, the very first time I ever saw Linda Loveland Reid was at the Star Restaurant in Kentucky. And she was becoming the president all of a sudden. It was quite remarkable. I thought, who is this woman who's just joined the club and now she's president? That was my first way of understanding that whatever Linda Reid does, she jumps in with all her heart, even if she doesn't know exactly what it is she's going to do. I found out that her commitment was strong, enduring, and very generous. In fact, that was the next thing I was so impressed with, was how Linda opened her house, first of all, for us to have meetings. I remember sitting around her kitchen table and trying to see one another through the cacti that were on the, remember in the old house you had the cacti? And we tried very gently to speak through the thorns. But it was just that everything that Linda had, she shared. She shared her home, and you know how she shared the beautiful gardens with the anthology launches, even if the wind was whipping through the trees and the sun was threatening to bake us, the show went on. And that's really my memories of Linda. The show goes on. Thank you. What?
And can I say something?
Yeah. Oh. And that's what she does.
Okay, so we have to share a little, okay. And Kate and I, Kate mainly, got our new website, and that was a real adventure. That was a real adventure, and she was wonderful with that, and we could tell some stories on that one. So Kate has been my right hand. Always Kate is there for me. And for 3 years, she has been there and advised me. She's very wise and very knowledgeable, and I've been very grateful. Thank you.
And let's give it up for Linda, who actually listened to me for all those years. Thank you, Linda.
You first in Copperfields, and it is very true. You cannot say no to Linda. I did volunteer for my first position, and then after that she'd kind of ask me, and I'd say okay. But I have said no to her. But she is so gracious, and she has taken this club from, when I first joined, about 70 members to 246 members. Thank you, Linda, for being such a gracious and vibrant person.
So Linda, I'm a relative newbie knowing you, but I'm listening and I'm realizing that what I wrote you is true, which is I don't remember at all when I first met you. I knew your name and Harry's name forever, but what I do remember is I'm actually a painful introvert, and I don't remember when I joined here, but I do remember that I used to stand by the door for the whole meeting, by the place where you would put the dirty coffee cups, because I was just, my first impression was just this sort of flower garden of unbelievable color, and this vibey energy from everybody was just kind of overwhelming. But gradual from soft focus to sharp focus over, I guess it's been years for me, is I began to realize, oh my God, this place is well run. And yet, we're so varied, right? And we all participate as if we're thinking it up. And that there was, I finally understood, there's a wizard here. You know, we have a Wizard of Oz. She's behind the curtain, and we all feel like we're in charge, and we're all throwing 100% in, and yet the trains run on time, and the balls stay up in the air, and that's you. You're just amazing. So I finally got it, and I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful. I'm so glad you're around for all of us, and thank you for what you've done, and I can't wait to see what you'll be up to next.
What is for a person who entertains? What makes a party? And it's always the people. And you've been my people. So, for every hug, for every smile, for these last 3 years, for all the work you did, for all the hours, for the support you gave me, for the inspiration, for the times you said yes to me when you should have said no, for being you, for being wonderful, for being writers, and for being just great people. I thank you. You've made a difference.
Elaine and Francis and Robbie and Sandy for returning Linda to me. Now she'll have the time to address all her ideas to me, to direct all her energies to me, and to use all the great organizational skills to me.
So I'm Lenny Dean, and just want to report real quick that the one-act contest that I guess was an inception of Linda's idea, her idea to do it, is going fabulously. All the directors working with the writers, all the actors, the publicity, the whole deal. I'm sure
You're the festival director.
Yes, I'm the festival director. She's got to direct from wherever she is. That will never stop, and I don't want it to. The festival director for the One Act Play Festival. And now, you know, I mean, Linda and I have known each other for years and years and years. It's so fun to come here the last couple of times that I have and see how another way in which her influence infuses energy, positive, love of learning, love of life, just a go-getter. And I have to say, it really is, it is a great joy to work with someone who, when you are in their presence in a moment, shit gets done. It gets done, and done now with lots of fun. It's fun to do when you're with Linda. So very, as everybody said, incredibly positive. There's no time for drama. You don't do that stuff. You just get things done, and done in a positive way. It makes for just an incredibly productive environment for all artists. And I really value my friendship, personal friendship that we've been developing as much and equally as I do my professional relationship with her. And inspiration, a go-getter. There's, on the top of my list, anytime I think, who would I want to be? Thought, Linda. How about this project? Linda. It's like, get Linda and it's like you're a winner. So I'm glad that these people have had the great good fortune to have you for 3 years, and I know that we're going to be doing lots more projects in the future together. So congratulations, Linda, and thank you.
Hi, I didn't know Linda. I didn't even know Redwood Writers when I decided to join. I saw Redwood Writers at the book fair a year after John died, and so I was still grieving and kind of trying to find a way to rebuild my life. And I went to my first meeting in Copperfields, and there was this beautiful woman behind the podium, and she did such a good job of leading the meeting that I thought, wow, this is a really capable woman, you know, and like, whoa, I can't even go up to her or what have you. But I didn't have to, because she came to see me. She came down and welcomed me and made me feel really special. And I heard her say, well, oh, you guys, bring something to add to the table next time. So I thought this was a requirement. And I brought some cookies that I bought at a bake sale at Safeway or something. And so the next time I was there, I put my cookies on the table. Linda comes over and praises me for bringing cookies. And I thought, oh, I want to be a part of all this. And it's sort of like she has this way about her, just of inviting and bringing you in. And then there was this, we were going to have an Agents Day, and she asked for volunteers, so I kind of thought, maybe I better do something for Linda. And I went to her house to be part of Agents Day. And she just was so gracious and welcoming, and I just felt so much a part of Redwood Writers right from the beginning. She has that kind of magic.
She is magical, and isn't she just drop dead gorgeous? You know, she was doing that PowerPoint, and you know, no offense to anybody in the room, but my God, she was the most beautiful person in all of those pictures.
I met Linda and Harry when I made a decision 2 years ago to join the writing community. And the next week I stopped at a yard sale. And this was Linda and Harry's house. And she was so welcoming there. I ended up buying her book, getting a tour of the gardens in the house, buying Harry's book. I know there was a meeting the next day of Redwood Writers and a book conference the next month. And I jumped right in because I felt so welcomed, and it was the answer to my prayers. And Linda, you always have that effect of, you know, I came here, I've had 43 projects were going on, and thought, this is the place to be. And you helped make it that way. Thank you.
This is my chiropractor.
Linda, all our stories are the same, almost. Mine's a lot like Kay's. I was walking by, I was at the Sonoma County Book Festival, and I was walking by Redwood Writers, had no clue who Redwood Writers was, and somebody that was working at the long booth shouted, "Hello, Arlene," and it wasn't Linda, but it was Robin Moore. I had no idea. I looked, and our daughters skated together, so I knew who she was. And then I joined, since I was either thinking of writing a book at the time or just starting one. And I'm not sure I would have kept coming if it weren't for Linda. I probably would have, but it was so inviting and so wonderful. And I remember the first time, a couple of years ago, she said, could you give a class on how to do a reading and how to use a mic? And I looked at her and I said, I'm the grammar person, I'm not, what? And she said, no, you can do it. And I did it, and you can't really, I've done other things since then, because you can't say no to Linda, or you don't want to ever say no to Linda. And if it weren't for Linda, there's no way that I could be up here now talking to you. No way.
Thank you.